Nearly 20% of the calls to AAA last year came from drivers locked out of their cars.
But when you don't have a car club membership like that, you rely on locksmiths to help you out. But the I-Team found out that the price you're quoted isn't always what you'll pay. Tonight, Terry Gruca explains how some businesses get away with charging 3 times as much on the spot.
How many times have you done this, only to realize this? Help can be a quick call away. Locating a locksmith is pretty easy.
So it's $55 for a service call?
But the I-Team found it can be much more costly than you'd expect.
Oh, so it's $150?
They quote a lower price on the phone.
Realtor Debbie Nelson has learned a lot about locksmiths.
They told me that cost would be $55 for including the service call and $19 thereafter per hour.
The fees on the 2 home door locks she needed kept rising.
Well, we ended up paying $95, but the kicker of it is we had to purchase a new lock, because after I argued with him and wouldn't let him upcharge me for putting the lock back on the door, he stripped the screws.
So the I-Team decided to check it out. We locked our keys in a van, then called several local locksmith companies to help, including one of the ones Debbie used.
Can I ask you how much it's going to be?
Each call center quoted us a $55 service fee, but when the locksmiths arrived, the prices jumped.
Oh, so it's $150? Oh, she told me it was $55.
55 is basically the street charge, the service call.
Okay, it's $115.
I thought it was going to be closer to $55.
No, it's $55 for the service call. It's only the service call.
The locksmiths offered few answers.
So what's the $55 then?
I don't know. I don't decide about the rate.
Why is it so much? I don't understand.
I play the games. I just follow the rules. I don't, just determine what the rates are.
Dana Lee's been unlocking cars and homes for 27 years, 21 of those with Floyd Total Security.
Every meeting, somebody comes up and has a horror story.
Stories similar to ours. One of the locksmiths we called tried to work us a deal with someone back at the office.
He told me that, for the misunderstanding, I can do it for 80 or 85, $80.
The other offered us a 10% discount if we paid cash, which we didn't have. Only later did we realize we'd been charged even more, $160 instead of the $150 on our receipt. It's the kind of practice many people assume can't happen here.
Our state is such a consumer-oriented state and such a strong state with our rules and laws that you don't see it as often in Minnesota.
But Minnesota law actually protects some of these practices. It's perfectly legal for businesses to charge customers a service fee. A lot of companies do it, and companies don't have to give you a complete quote over the phone.
Where it becomes a problem is that they make it appear as though they're local. The locksmiths say they're located here in Eden Prairie, but when we checked the address they have listed, it turns out to be Quest.
It's a way of doing business that started along the East Coast, but has now spread into Minnesota. Dana says there are plenty of good locksmith companies out there, but remember, locksmiths in Minnesota don't have to be licensed.
Without a regulation, anybody can be a locksmith.
And why not? It appears to be a pretty lucrative business.
We're walking all around. I'm driving. The next one is Eden Prairie.
We found this kind of practice involves several different kinds of services you might need around your home. So be wary if the person on the other end of the phone gives a generic business name like locksmith. And even though they don't have to, a lot of locksmiths tell me they will give you a price range for what it would cost you to get back into your car.
Is anything being done about these kind of businesses?
It's interesting. The Attorney General here in Minnesota is very concerned about this trend, and it is illegal in Minnesota to represent your geographic location by taking on what appears to be local phone numbers and addresses. And the Attorney General has taken action against companies like this before.
All right. Thank you very much.